Cześć panowie, my name is Max Fomichev. I'm currently an executive producer of the Bull Robots mobile PvP shooter, but back in the days, I was a PR manager and marketing manager for about 8 years in the games industry. So I used to run lots of campaigns for the client-based games, for the mobile games, and even for the Steam RPG, which makes my experience quite similar to yours guys. And today we will review your marketing strategy and your position. Karina?
Hi guys, my name is Karina. Currently, I am PR director at Pixonic, so we're working together with Max. Previously, I worked for Softlab. It's basically a marketing agency that deals with indie games as well in Russian-speaking territories. So we made a lot of similar work to create marketing strategies for indie games as well.
So, while I was digging into the Gatewalkers, right, and its community and marketing, I noticed that you guys basically working a lot with the core community right now. So you have quite a lot of wish lists, right? So 65,000 is a lot. Yet the community is not really robust. So you have about let me see, about 300 people on Discord and workers and about 5,000, yeah, about 6,000 likes on Facebook. Yet the engagement rate is quite low. I believe that this is because the majority of your posts on the Facebook are somehow informative, right? And on Discord, the devs there are there, yet you are not, you are not doing a lot of engagement with the audience, right? So there's no Q&A, there's no AMA sessions with the dev. On the Facebook, you don't post anything from the internal of your studio. So in my opinion, as you are sort of the indie developers, you need to create this connection between your players and your developers, right? Not only with the product, but with the developers as well. So I would change a bit the marketing strategy for the social media and add a bit of the internal kitchen of the development, right? How we do it, how we created some canceled artworks, some sketches, add more feeling to the audience that they actually participate in the development. Ask them something like, how should we make this, I don't know, like weapon, right? Should it be like this sort or this sort? Make the vote, something like that. So um, you are working with the early adopters who like your game already. So give them this touch of the like co-creation. That would basically give you a lot of more emotional connection between the players and the product through the developers.
A lot of developers use Twitch for devs. I mean, not they not streaming games. They stream character creation. They engage interest things to Q&A with developers and so on. So you can use Twitch not only to engage influencer in your product, but also stream the progress of your game and something like that.
Yeah, good point. So another thing which is much more complex and much more problematic in my opinion is the complexity of representation of the game in the trailers, right? So on Steam, you have two trailers, and in both of them, the trailers are good actually. I mean, the production quality. Yet, from the perspective of the position, and you're putting a lot of things in one trailer, right? So the game have different USPs. You have the environment hazards. You have this untypical progression system through the not through the character development, but through the equipment. You have the equipment-based skill sets, and you put it all in one pot. And this makes me feel that the game is really complex. The game really pushes me to learn a lot of mechanics, which is probably true. Yet you could break the marketing assets in the box, right? So release a dedicated trailer to the combat system, one more for the character progression and crafting, the next one for the builds, one more for the environment hazards. So um, that way you have first more content to distribute during the PR cycle of the game. Second, you will even this level of complexity for the reception of the player. And in my
Also,
opinion, in my
they can make a lore video because they have only 1 minute like introduction video. What happens in the game? Why you're a gatewalker? What happened? Why you need to go to the other worlds and grind, basically. So I, I I think that a couple of months before the global launch, they need to make a lore video and add to that lineup of videos what happens with mechanics and what happens in the game to understand more why you need to do things that you
yeah,
do.
and the lore is quite important for some players, which is makes Karina's point a great one. So yeah, divide the position in parts and make it dedicated info push connected to each of them. Don't mix it all in one. Don't try to like put everything the best on the same time.
You talk about free promotion that guys can do it with the in-house people, but we are not sure that they have somebody that can engage in PR activities, because everything you talk about, you need someone like a project manager for PR activities. Maybe they can outsource it to PR agency, but still they need an in-house person to oversee everything, to oversee strategy, to make maybe strategy in-house and then work with agency for and then they can create that trailers, because they have 2 YouTube trailers, one lore trailer and one basically gameplay trailer, and that's it. So maybe it will be better for them to concentrate on the development and outsource all the, not all the PR activities, but we talked previously about it. Outsource
The execution.
yes, execution. Thank you.
Well, yeah. Considering that you guys have some budget, right? 25K is enough budget to make some PR push. Probably if we'll take the Europe plus the US, that's enough for 2 months of the PR coverage. But still, you need to remember that PR agency is not the brain; it's the hands, right? So you will have to have somebody on the inside who will help you to commence the marketing strategy, and that agency will basically execute it, right? So yeah.
Besides that, agencies can do trailer production, branding, social media management, crowdfunding, consultation, even localization, and some kind of crisis management. So we can actually, I can recommend a couple of PR agencies that I worked with previously. It's Renaissance PR, it's Plan of Attack, Cool Things. You know that agency, yes, Maxim?
Yeah, very well.
And Cosmocover. You should really Google this agency and see what they can do and what they can offer. And while you're doing it, you need to see, you need to answer some question to yourself. Do they have an experience with your genre or setting? Do they work with indie games or just AAA games? Because indie specific experience is really important. And maybe you should ask them how their marketing funnel looks like, because you don't want to give away 25,000 euro just for free and without any understanding how your money will be spent, basically.
Well, I would confront this opinion because okay, so there are agencies that specialize in the AAA PR, but usually those agencies mm, they don't push the key giveaways, right? They create some creative marketing, right? But What you need is some basic work, right? You need to localize the press releases, to send them to the local media, to pitch the local media, to make some key giveaways for the preview or review, to work with the local influencers. And basically, each and any agency can handle this job in their specific region, right?
Yes.
So if, let's say, you are approaching the US agency and asking them to create to make the worldwide coverage, there are and they agree, right? There are two options. Either they will just try to reach the, let's say, European media from the US without any warm connection, and that will, well, this will not have any really good results. Either they will subcontract the local European agency to do this work. So instead of that, you can just work directly with two free agencies to cover the, I don't know, like US, Germany, France, and Poland, which is quite good market. And then you will just connect all those agencies with this in-house guy who is responsible for the strategy, or and with the local PR. And this is the best approach. This is the most effective way to spend the money for the agencies. Yet I would not recommend to outsource the video production to the agencies, because they do not probably, well, in most cases, they do not have any in-house video production. They just simply outsource it to their partners. So, and besides you guys, you have some quite nice trailers. So just do it yourself. So all you need from the marketing perspective is the guy on your side who will just create the strategy and execute it with the help of the PR agencies.
Maybe not the strategy, because you need a special person to create that strategy. You need to hire somebody, even for a 6 months contract, if it's possible. But I mean, you need to understand what you want to achieve. I want to achieve bigger audiences. It's not a goal, basically. You need to understand where your audience is, and to promote your game on those territories the most. For example, like Max said before, one agency can cover only one area, not Europe, like France, Germany, United States. Eastern Europe is one region, I think, Russian speaking.
Well, the Russian-speaking region is one, but the Eastern Europe is, let's say, the Czech and Poland is different, completely
Okay.
different region.
And there's no we can cover the whole world agency, or basically it's a lie. So yes, you need to understand what you want, where you want to promote your game, and what you want to outsource. Because for example, you can do a lot for free to engage with your audience via social media, via Twitch. You can, you not just can, you need to define your USPs, like you pitched in the DevGAMM video, and use it for any communication from your company, from the game profiles in social media. Because right now it's a bit messy. I watched every bit of information on the internet that I found about your game, and then I just only understand what's your unique features. Like Max said before, different trailers will be an interesting thing to create from your company.
Yeah, another good point from Karina, and another big question from me is when to start the PR campaign, which is one of the biggest questions probably for the people without any experience uh, in the marketing. So I would recommend to, after you will split your USPs in those different thematics, right? After you will understand how many video trailers you will be able to product, just run them once per 2 weeks, and that will define the length of your PR campaign. So let's see if you can produce 6 videos, that will make you 3 months to probably properly distribute it in the media. So why once in 2 weeks? Because the media will not get tired of you. Because if you just spam them, they will just block you, right? And this has happened to me lots of times when I used to be the PR manager. Um, so don't be too frequent. At the same time, don't let your target media to forget about you. So once per 2 weeks with the video is in my opinion, is the best timing. Another thing is that the media pick up the trailers with well, much better and with much much willingly than any other format, text, pictures, anything like that. So just focus on the video production and push the game through the trailers.
What do you think about PR that integrated into development and business development? Because guys wanted to go to launch the product on the other platforms, on Nintendo Switch, Xbox, PlayStation, and you need to work closely with those platforms to understand their benefits and how to promote their game on the other platforms. Or is it too early to talk about it? What do you think?
Well, it's never too too early to talk about the features, but let me be frank, as the Gatewalkers is not the AAA games. Well, much likely the big platforms like PlayStation or the Xbox, they won't give a lot of promotion for them, especially in the end of the year. And the release window is another big question because end of the year is usually the well, let's say it blunt, the Call of Duty times.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
other
so
streets and AAA games, yeah.
yeah, all the stores will be just stuffed with the AAA hits, and this is the not the proper timing to for the indie games. Yet you well, even if you are not a rival with the Call of Duty because of the genre, you are a rival because the store, let's say the Steam or PlayStation, they have limited featuring capabilities, right? So they decide who to feature, you or the Call of Duty, and the choice is definitely not on the your side. So talking to the platforms almost a year before the release is definitely a goal. Yet I wouldn't, put a lot of hopes on getting a lot of promotion from the platforms.
Okay, thank you. And what do you think about integrating Twitch features for streamers for them to easily stream your game?
You mean
Because
drops? You mean drops or what?
Twitch has some kind of integration tool that can help streamers easily turn off, for example, UI interface or turn off copyrighted music, something like that. Do you think it's a requirement for modern games, or the guys need to concentrate on the development of the basic game and not on the additional features?
Well, I don't believe it's like a necessity, right? Or the must-have features, but that will definitely help. So from the perspective of the Gatewalkers, I would definitely go for it because, well, the co-op games they are based on the players' emotions, right? On the synergy of the players, how they react on some situations, and the survival elements of the game they create those situations, right? When one of your teammates is starving or getting freeze, you have this emotion. So yeah, I believe that the streamability of the Gatewalkers is have some potential. So I would definitely ease in the entrance for the streamers in the game.
But I'm not sure that 25,000 euros is enough for launch for a press. I mean, to hire a couple of agencies to deal with press is it's a big budget. I mean, for 3-4 months, and if they want to deal with influencers, they need to deal with them themselves, basically. And it's a lot of day-to-day work communications. They need to target mid-tier.
Not really, because the agencies, well, the PR agencies, they have connections not only with the local media, but also with the local YouTubers. So the point is, 25K is definitely not enough to, I don't know, like to buy some big streamer on Twitch. Yet you could just include this point in the marketing in the agency contract, and they will pitch those who are available. So they will just go to those influencers and offer them a key to stream. So if an influencer finds the game like worthy, he will stream it for free. And well, this is the way how you do it. Plus the keymailer.co. which is still a good tool to reach a bunch of small influencers, and I would go like this way.
Yeah. Also, the main point of release date is to be earlier than Diablo 4. I think that the games are similar in the way. Yeah, so you need to really to release before the big game
Oh,
for
Diablo 4 is not the only competitor to the Gatewalkers. It's also Path of Exile Part 2, and let's say even the Pathfinder 2, Pathfinder 2, and all those RPGs, because they basically fight for the same audience.
yeah.
And this is another point um, into the probably changing the release date, because well, we need to study when the competitors are releasing. I believe that Pathfinder releases on September, and the Path of Exile, I don't remember the date, but probably end of the year as well. So you just need a clear release window when there is no AAA hits and there is no direct competitors to the game. This is kind of hard to predict. And never release on Fridays, because Steam often launches the week-long promotion for the duration, and it starts on Friday. So, for example, when I was working on the Ash of Gods title, it was launched on Steam Friday, and about 8 hours after we released, the Ubisoft had this huge sale up to minus 80%, and that kind of shooted us. Yeah.
Uh, okay, so I think it was a lot of smart suggestions from our side. If you have any additional questions, you can ask it afterwards. And Maxim, do you have something to add?
No, I don't believe so. So I just want to say that the game looks good. The mechanics looks really interesting, and I'm eager to play it when it will be released. Also, the thing that you guys are planning DLCs is also a great thing to retain the players. Just think upfront, how will you make the sales on the main game upon the release of the DLC? Because usually, sometimes it's better for you to, I don't know, like to give away the basic game for free to upsell the DLC than to, try to catch the new audience for the base game. This is also a big point, I think, for you. But overall, the game is great. I really liked it.
I agree. The mechanics are interesting and yet entertaining. It's simple, but it's really interesting even to watch how people play. I watched a video from the guy. Actually, he told that he has the latest NVIDIA video card, and the performance is really so it's a smart idea to concentrate on the development and outsource a lot of PR activities to a couple of agencies. So basically, to sum up, choose a smart release window based on the release dates of other big projects similar to yours. Look where your current paying audience is, people, who these people are and where they're located, and then target this audience and strengthen your countries of interest. I think it's okay to compare a game with some famous title, like target Diablo-like audience, and don't forget about your current audience to talk with, to use it for newsletters, because 65,000 people, it's a huge mailing list, and you don't need to ignore it.
It's not mailing, it's Steam wish lists. You can't reach it outside the Steam. But yeah, well, anyway, the advice is good.
You can send notification.
If you have the mailing list, it's always good to reach the audience with different sources. Yeah, so I guess that's it.
Yeah, I guess our time is out. So see you in the Q&A.